Well, let's talk a little bit more about what's happening in the UK and head to London to speak to our correspondent, Tig Enright. Tig, yesterday was a day of real celebration as the vaccine started to get rolled out, but we're hearing real words of caution from the government. What have they had to say?
Yeah, that's right, Rosie. Good morning. Given all the jubilation of yesterday, you'd almost be forgiven for thinking the pandemic was over, but of course it's not. Even if things go to plan with the vaccination programme, which began here yesterday, mass immunity of the general public won't be achieved until the spring of next year. And that's why we heard from Prime Minister Boris Johnson saying that we cannot relax just yet. Because, of course, we are now experiencing the pandemic in the winter with all the usual pressures that the cold weather places on the health service here and the limitations that cold weather poses to outdoor socialising. I can tell you it's been absolutely bitingly cold here in London over the past few days, and we're hearing also that cases are surging in the capital, and there is a warning, as you heard there in Evelyn's report, that London could be forced into the highest level of restrictions soon, and that means bars and restaurants closing once again. More evidence, if needed, that things could yet get worse before they get better.
And how long is it estimated? I know this is really difficult to answer, but authorities making these decisions, how long are these restrictions, things like wearing masks, having to shut down businesses, how long is that going to be in place for?
Well, listen, the tiered restrictions are reviewed every 2 weeks, i.e. which areas need to have what level of restrictions applied to them. The overall tier regime is due to last until the end of March next year. Now, that's around the time that we'd hope most people will have been vaccinated. And of course, the hope is that if a great number of people achieve immunity, well, then we won't need such strict restrictions. But, there are still an awful lot of uncertainties surrounding this, because there's one thing testing vaccines, it's another thing seeing how effective they are when rolled out en masse. And there is still a question mark when it comes to the vaccines. They might stop you from getting sick from the virus, but we don't know for sure if they'll stop you from passing on the virus to other people. So amidst all the excitement of the vaccine programme beginning, some sobering words from the UK's chief scientific advisor, who warns that face masks could remain a feature of life for another year. Rosie?
Tig, thank you very much. Our correspondent there in London.